Welcome on into the Josh Reese Show. I'm your host, Josh Reese, and this video is going to be talking about the Houston Rockets and their first team all 50 years. I don't really know how to put that correctly, but you know how there's a first All-NBA team, a first All-NBA team defensive team. I figure, after 50 seasons of Rockets basketball, I don't remember if there's ever been a list. I'm sure there has, but a list of a first team All Rockets offense and All Rockets defense. So here in this video, you're going to get my thoughts on a first team All Rockets and a first team All Rockets defense. But before we get into that, I would ask you to follow my friends over at Countryside Massage here in Conroe, Texas. They are linked in the description below. Please give them a click on the link and give them a follow on Facebook. I would appreciate it. It would help out a lot. They're supporters of mine, and I am supporters of theirs. But let's get on into the Rockets' first team All-NBA. The Rockets' best players in franchise history. And the first one, of course, is no suspense. Hakeem Olajuwon is overall the unanimous #1 Rockets player in franchise history. He goes down as the GOAT of the Rockets franchise, and leading the team at center. You've got him at his 22 points per game, his 11 rebounds, and 3 blocks a game. Hakeem Olajuwon was a stud. Now, power forward is a little bit harder for the Houston Rockets, and throughout their history, 50 years of Rockets basketball, finding legit power forwards for the Rockets that played for more than 4 seasons with the team, which was my only qualifier for this list, is you had to play at least 4 seasons on the Houston Rockets. So finding a power forward like that, very, very, very difficult to find. But I didn't really get to see this player play, of course, in his prime, but I have Elvin Hayes as the Rockets power forward on this all-time first-team All-Rockets. 20 points a game, a bruising rebounder, 12 rebounds a game. He can definitely grab a lot of rebounds, probably play some sick defense. I talked to some people, and they just raved of how good of a player Elvin Hayes was. I kind of wish I was able to see him in his prime. But these other 2 players, I did get to see in their prime. And starting at small forward for the Houston Rockets is none other than Tracy McGrady. Yes, Tracy McGrady is the Rockets' all-time great shooting small forward. Because he was not really a small forward, but for this instance, he is a small forward on my list. Tracy McGrady combo. He could play either position. Definitely a scorer. Could play defense on occasion, but he could also, he was a stat filler. He was how do I put it? Like a really, really, really poor man's LeBron James, if that makes sense. Could score a lot, could also get rebounds, could also assist. He was one of the first players back then where, he wasn't a point guard, but he was someone that could also initiate the offense and do a lot of stuff with the ball in his hand. Really, really love watching Tracy McGrady play. And those Yao Ming teams with T-Mac, unfortunately, just never were able to get going. And never were able to break through, unfortunately, with injury and all the other stuff. But on this list, he is an all-time Rockets great. Tracy McGrady starts at small forward on my list. So at shooting guard, it should make no surprise. James Harden is my all-time Rockets shooting guard. And really, nothing you can say about James Harden here. Great scorer, also a great facilitator. Would love to see him alongside Hakeem Olajuwon. Oh my God, with Tracy McGrady as well. Elvin Hayes snagging rebounds. God, that team would be so amazing. You could also have James Harden handling the balls, putting other people in scoring position as well. really a lot of things you can do with James Harden on this team. He's not a point guard on this list, and that is because I have Hall of Famer Calvin Murphy as the point guard on my all-time Rockets first team. And I would have really loved to seen Calvin Murphy play back in the day. Everyone kind of compares him to Isaiah Thomas. Jesus. To Boston's Isaiah. Oh my God, I can't get his name. Whatever. Everyone kind of compares him to that. Feisty point guard, small, can score, doesn't mind getting into people's bodies and going to the rim. I imagine playing against James Harden probably in this offense. Maybe James Harden would be more of a point guard in this offense, and Calvin Murphy would be the shooting guard. But, I mean, it's whatever. That's just how I have it listed on here, just by sizes and whatever. But would love to see Calvin Murphy and James Harden playing together. Would love to see the amount of shots that they could get off for each other. Really, really good stuff. And, man, that first team for the Houston Rockets of Dream, Elvin Hayes, Tracy McGrady, James Harden, Calvin Murphy, that's a legit starting lineup, man. And there's few teams that can match that. I mean, Boston is going to put out a great starting first unit against this theoretical team. Also, the Lakers would put out a really great starting unit. The Spurs would put out a good unit. But man, there's few teams that are going to be able to match this Rockets first team pound for pound. Really, really great first team for the Houston Rockets. Also, to follow it up, the first team all defense is, of course, Dream. He leads off at center. Dream is the only one on this list that is a two-time list maker. And I think we all know how good of a defensive player Hakeem Olajuwon was. Not only was he great getting steals, he also blocked a ton of shots. He was amazing. Really, really great defensive player. Really loved watching him play. Now, for power forward, this one is a little bit different, and it's mainly because, like I stated, in the first team, all Rockets selections really don't have a lot of great power forwards in Rockets history. And defensively, certainly not. So on this list, I have Chuck Hayes as an all-team first Rockets defense. I don't really think there's much you could say about that. I think we all really enjoyed Chuck Hayes' toughness and intensity. And I think on this team right here, you would have someone who would bring all the intangibles, take a lot of charges, really, really play tough-nosed defense. I would really love to see Chuck Hayes on this team. And I would love to see if anybody else thinks if there's better power forwards out there. Please let me know. Because, of course, my knowledge does not go back until past the 1990s, pretty much. But rounding out this list, I also have Shane Battier as your small forward. I think we all saw how good Shane Battier was when he played for the Houston Rockets. Really, really good defensive player. Loved his battles against Kobe. Really loved watching him grind. Always sticking that hand out. Always having the hand in people's faces. Love Shane Battier. Also on this team at shooting guard, Vernon Maxwell. Wow. Not much you can say about Vernon Maxwell aside from fire and energy. Love to see Mad Max play, and having him on this team would certainly be very interesting. He would definitely be I don't know. When I mention point guard, I'm taking that back immediately as I'm saying that. But seeing this point guard and Vernon Maxwell play together, I think would be freaking crazy. And starting at point guard on this all-NBA defensive team for the Houston Rockets is, of course, Patrick Beverley, who has now moved on to the Los Angeles Clippers. But Beverley's time in Houston and his seasons with the Rockets became one of the better defensive players, not only on the Rockets, but in the NBA. And his final season with the Houston Rockets, he made first team all defense. And on this list, he makes first team all defense Houston Rockets. I'm not sure who would be the better trash talker and fire maker on the Houston Rockets first team all defense. Would it be Vernon Maxwell or would it be Patrick Beverley? I'm not sure. But I'll tell you one thing. I would love to see this first team all defense take on any other team in NBA history. They may not score a shit ton of points, but I'll tell you this. They will not allow a lot of points. And seeing how much, I don't want to say fighting, but just seeing all the physicality that this team would have against any other team in NBA history, it would be something very, very special to watch. I could see Patrick Beverley matching up with just about anybody in NBA history, past or present, and holding his own. Same with Mad Max. He loved his matchups with Michael Jordan. I would love to see his matchups against Steph Curry or Klay Thompson, even LeBron James. LeBron James would probably be a little more tough cover for him. But you could have Shane Battier in his prime against LeBron James. That would be amazing. Also, this team would be pretty switchy, too. You could have these guys play a lot of different positions as well. Would love to see that. So that's pretty much all I got. Guys, I appreciate you for giving this a watch. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it with anybody else out there. I would appreciate it. Also, give me a comment. Let me know what you think about who are the best Rockets all time, but list them by position. Let me know center, power forward, small forward, shooting guard, point guard. I'd love to know who you think first team Rockets all NBA and then first team Rockets all defense. I'd love to know what you guys think are the best Rockets of all time. But remember, they had to have played at least 4 years on the Houston Rockets. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys for giving this video a watch. If this is your first time watching my YouTube channel, please give me a subscribe. Hit the alert notification as well so you can see whenever I drop a new video. I try to do a couple videos a week. And I especially always try to upload a new video whenever I have good internet connection. So I appreciate it. Also, follow me on Twitter at Mr. Joshua if you're not already doing that. I would appreciate it. And lastly, if you haven't did it already, please follow my friends over at Countryside Massage here in Conroe, Texas. They are linked in the description below. You have no excuses. Click the description box, click the link, give them a follow. I appreciate it. With that being said, I'm out of here. I will catch y'all guys next time.